In this program you are asked to get the user to enter their name, and it should output that name one letter at a time. So I've given you some code already, so as always, if I'm giving you some code, run it to see what it does. And you can see here it is outputting each letter of the name Queen Mary's High School one letter at a time, and it's got a delay of 0.5 seconds between each letter. So for X in name, we'll assign X the value of each letter, print it out. It'll do this one at a time. It has the delay of half a second. Now the task says modify the program so that it asks the user to enter their name. So I'm going to remove this line here, put an input, please, which will allow the user to type the name in. Now I've seen a few people put this around it. Now this it does not make sense to do this, because whatever I type in is a string. It's going to be a name, and trying to convert it to an integer will cause the program to crash. And just to show that, you can see there the error message tells me line 3 is causing an error, which is this line here, and it tells me invalid literal for int with base 10 Mr. Vaughan. What that's basically saying is that I can't turn Mr. Vaughan into an int. It doesn't make sense to do that. It's an invalid command. So I'm just going to remove this from here, and I'll run it again. And we can see it works. So the next part says improve the program so that it counts how many vowels are in their name and then outputs the numbers A's, E's, etc. So X has taken on a value, and in the example here, X was first a capital M, then it was an R, and as it goes through we can see that there's an A here that it should count, there's a U here that it should count, and there's an A here that it should count. So I'm going to tell my program that, make some space here, that if X equals, that should be a double equals A, I'm going to add 1 to A's. So I can do A equals A plus 1. I haven't set this up yet, so outside of my loop I'm just going to say A equals 0. And then at the end of my program I want it to output all of the A's. So print A equals, don't need a space there, comma A. So it will loop through name, it will print the letter. If that letter is an A, it's going to add 1 to the A variable which I've set up previously. This needs to be outside the loop, otherwise it will keep resetting it to 0. For example, if I put it here, it would keep resetting it to 0 every time I went on to the next letter. And then once it's finished, it will print out all the A's. There you go. So you can see there's 2 A's in my name. Now I wanted to count all the vowels, so I need on here elif X equals, and then I'll go for the next one, and so on. So I'll add A, E, I, O, U. I also need to create variables for these vowels at the top here, and then I'll need to output them at the bottom. But this is how you solve this problem.